Hello and welcome to another fun-filled nonsense retrospective. I'm your host as always, Rick, and joining me equally as always is Devon.
Do a spirit bomb.
It's over 9,000!
I don't think we can talk about the spirit bomb today.
We can, because it fails.
I don't remember it happening at all during the Saiyan Saga.
Oh, the whole point of, training with King Kai, the two things he learned. We'll get to it later. Well, yeah, we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Z today. We're talking about the Saiyan Saga, and that covers right from the very first episode of Z, all the way up to Vegeta fucking off and going bye-bye.
And as the age-old joke goes, we're not going to talk about Dragon Ball because nobody watched it.
True. But before we get into that, let's get into our time-honored tradition of the nonsense asinine hypotheticals. And do you have one for me today?
You are given the powers of a character from the Dragon Ball Z universe. Which planet do you destroy?
Considering how much shit Earth goes through, I think it would be a mercy at this point.
I mean, that includes you. You get to destroy a planet for shits and grins. Which one goes? Earth. You're on Earth. Yeah, I know what I said.
Yeah. Well, the other one is, it finally put an end to the debate if I got rid of Pluto.
Well, you see, the Pluto thing's always driven me a bit mad, because essentially the only reason they demoted Pluto from planet is because they thought, and maybe rightly so to a certain degree, that school kids couldn't learn more than 9 planet names.
Well, there were 9 planet names with Pluto, and, my very easy method just speeds up naming planets is now my very easy method just speeds up naming, so you don't even know what you're naming without the P to be planet.
What are you on about?
Oh, it's the first letter of my very easy method just speeds up naming planet is the first letter of the all the planets.
Yeah, but I never learnt that. I just learnt the planet names.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're just like, I blow up planets, so that gets rid of the problem of planets. And I'm like, what? You sounded like a crazy person.
Okay, yeah. So, there's a lot of controversy among the nerd world of whether or not Pluto is a planet. It now officially isn't. So I think the actual reasoning they used is that there are bigger asteroids than Pluto.
I watched a documentary not too long ago about Pluto, and I'm not even joking, where specifically it was about a satellite they sent to Pluto to get pictures of Pluto, which blows my fucking mind, but whatever. And it's really funny because they showed footage from early 2000s of people out in the streets protesting because they demoted Pluto from planet status, and I watched that thinking, boy, those were simpler times.
Yeah.
People just getting pissy because Pluto is no longer officially a planet, as opposed to, we won't take the goddamn vaccine.
Yeah. I was doing physics at university when that was happening, so I'm like, I am the prime type of person to either have an opinion on it one way or the other. So, yeah, it was a bit of a shame to lose a part of nerd culture, but also fun to have nerd culture in the prime eye, as it were.
But yeah, essentially what occurred is they basically had meetings about it for a long goddamn time, and the documentary framed it as thus, so I could be incorrect, but essentially it boiled down to, if everything that is smaller than Pluto or around Pluto's size is a planet, that means we've got a shit zillion planets in our solar system, and that's too much for school kids.
Yeah.
And combine that with the fact that also we need to walk away from this meeting with a decision. We can't just stay undecided, so we're going to do this.
Yeah, because the asteroid belt, they just kind of write the asteroid belt off as the asteroid belt. There's lots of it.
Yeah, which, technically speaking, not really asteroids.
Yeah, the planetoids, a lot of things larger than moons. But yeah, it's a load of solid shit before you get to the gas giants.
Seriously though, Rick, when you went to Australia, I went on this weird binge because I had a lot of free time. I just watched a lot of space documentaries.
Yeah, the joy of not having to edit anything and all the stupid things that I say in these episodes.
Well, I barely edit retros.
Well, but yeah, I'd blow up Pluto to put an end to the debate. If you're looking for a fictional planet, I don't know any fictional...
No,
don't
real
know any
planet.
Fictional planets that I don't know any fictional planets that I hate enough.
Blow up Planet Namek again for the lols.
Return Namek and then blow it up again, yeah.
But yeah, am I right assuming you have one for me?
Yeah, the one I have for you is there was a manga that put a rando as, the main character in the shoes of Yamcha. He knew everything about the universe and could then steer that character on a better path and achieve a different ending. What character would you pick to do the same to out of any fiction.
Like, the Yamcha thing's baffling to me, because immediately you'd be like, cool, I'm just going to give up being a Z-fighter and play baseball, because that's clearly where my life is destined.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you gave me some heads up on this question, because you were like, you're going to need some homework on this, and I answered it in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, I thought you were going to take more than 8 seconds to mull it over, and you immediately came up with an answer.
Yeah, I mean, you could go for... I assume it's got to be like Yamcha level, in that they don't really affect the story in any meaningful way.
Yeah, the idea was that it was an underpowered character, but you could, like, create a monster with your knowledge and your knowledge of what's to come and your knowledge of that character's moveset and things otherwise in the universe. So I think Yamcha goes to King Kai, for instance, and, like, he gets Kaioken because that's not a Saiyan-only transformation.
Yeah, I know, but it's also dog shit compared to actual Super Saiyan level transformations.
Yeah.
I instantly went, yeah, you got to be Minata from My Hero Academia, because all you got to do is not be a creep and you're already one up on him.
Oh yeah, totally.
like literally just take the character's shoes, stop him from being a little cunt, basically. And honestly, you don't really need to change much other than that.
Yeah.
Like, he never puts himself in dangerous situations anyway.
Apart from in movies, but they don't count.
No, the movies are super not canon. Like, but don't forget, there's that one plot device in that one movie where it's like, here's these magical gloves that means you won't break your hand every time you punch people, Deku. Oh, by the way, conveniently they're gonna get destroyed by the end of this movie, so you don't have them in the anime.
Yeah, you can use them 3 times, and he uses them 3 times, and they break. Okay. Can I have another pair? No.
No, that was the only one. But yeah, literally, you have to put up with looking like Minata, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, plastic surgery is a thing. You can always get a Buzz Lightyear face or whatever.
It wouldn't matter because of the body.
Yeah. But then again, some girls are into that, you know?
I mean, like, if you're a hero, it doesn't matter what you goddamn look like. But again, if you're turning down the creep factor, I think he'd be a lot more successful socially, full stop.
Yeah, totally.
If I lived in My Hero Academia world, just full stop, and I encountered Minata, I'd be like, you're very gross and a little bit rapey.
Yeah, it would be very difficult to resist the urge to just punt him over the horizon.
That being said, it does look like if you go into overdrive with his power, it's quite painful for you using it.
Yeah, because, like, his ability is pop off, which is like, he takes all the little grapes off of his head, and he can use them as stickies, and if he does too many, then his scalp starts to bleed.
Like, I think, as well, one of the first things I would do immediately is I'd go up to Deku and go, hey, how can I use this ability in a really cool way?
Yep.
Because one of the things about having prior knowledge of the universe is Deku's ability is kind of that.
Yeah. Like, his main strength is knowledge rather than power, you know?
Yeah, but he also gets the power as well. And I still don't know what they're doing with Bakugo in that, because all of the spoilers that I'm getting are hinting that might be permanent.
I've got another spoiler that hints that it might not be, but it might be for someone else.
It's very confusing. I said when I got the original spoiler, which I'm not really following My Hero anymore, so it's not really a spoiler for me. And I was like, okay. And people were like, yeah, but there's this, and this that can probably bring him back. And it's like, cool. Oh, spoilers for My Hero Academia, sort of. Yeah, I've recently been told, oh, maybe they're being serious. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't care. He's an arsehole.
He was. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Z, Siyan Saga. And yeah, we open with, I think, the only episode of all of Dragon Ball Z that doesn't start with last time on Dragon Ball Z. I think it does give you like a little do-over of, oh yeah, Dragon Ball happened, but nobody watched that. And here's the thing, from my generation at least, when it was on TV, nobody watched the early episodes anyway, because it had to become popular before kids told other kids about it, you know?
Yeah, I get you. Although, that said, I do vaguely remember watching it from the beginning on Cartoon Network.
Okay, like, the first episode I ever saw was, like, when the jobbers are training on the tower, and I'm like, oh, who are these? And why are they doing this? And my cousin was like, oh, just fucking watch it.
Yeah, well, it don't take a lot to grab a kid's interest.
Yeah, because then they cut to Goku doing, like, chasing bubbles around on King Kai's planet. And yeah, so we start with Raditz. Raditz arrives. Piccolo senses a disturbance in the Force, goes to Goku and says, yo, what the fuck? And
I feel like you're just reading the script from Team 4 Stars Abridged.
Well, here's the point. When we're talking about this, we're essentially abridging it in our own way. But yeah, Raditz finds a level 5 farmer. We get introduced to power levels, and the way that we're shown of this is that farmer with shotgun is power level 5.
Right, the thing that actually ruined Shonen for a good 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like, it's a good reason they did away with with it after about End of Frieza.
Yeah,
because,
okay, but here's the thing, right? I've watched Seven Deadly Sins, and the first season of that is fun, it's great, it's like, here's the challenge, they overcome the challenge, they move on. Season 2, oh, cool, by the way, power levels exist, and I'm like, fuck off, that's so lazy.
Oh, no. Yeah, because everything had to be a higher power level than the thing before it, otherwise it wouldn't be a challenge.
It's also like, there's a storytelling device which is show, don't tell. Power levels are literally just going, instead of showing you how badass this person is and how much of a threat they are, it's like, oh, here's their number, it's bigger than this character's number, this is now a problem. It's like, okay, fine, I guess, I'm not happy about it, but you're being real fucking lazy.
But yeah, Raditz' power level is about 1,000. Goku and Piccolo are less than that.
I want to go on record as saying I still think it's bullshit that Raditz is as strong as a Cyberman.
Yeah, that they can literally grow Raditzes.
Oh, thank you for saying that, by the way. Do you want to give Toriyama's big trick on naming characters?
Oh, yeah, all the Saiyans are named after vegetables.
And Piccolo is as well.
Oh, Piccolo's named after the instrument.
I thought he was named after a pickle because he's green.
No, he's named after an instrument. There's a bunch of other instrument-themed demons in Dragon Ball, like tambourine and like drum.
Oh, you got Garlic and his season come lads. What they called?
Oh yeah, the Spice Brigade. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's garlic and paprika and shit.
Yeah, pepper and ginger and chili con
carne. Who would win in a fight, Piccolo or Peppa Pig? Don't forget, Peppa Pig is known for it too. According to Google.
Yeah, but a great ape is even bigger, and Piccolo. Well, actually, Piccolo can super grow as well, can't he?
I don't remember that ever happening.
Okay, so that's the thing that he does in Dragon Ball Basic.
Okay, but he never does it in Dragon Ball Z, so it can fuck off.
Yeah, he forgets about it until the most recent movie, which is bullshit.
Yeah, but you got to bear in mind, the Piccolo that we see from Dragon Ball Z onwards is like half of the original Piccolo, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but like when he does it in Dragon Ball Basic, he's already the Piccolo that he is. He's not the King Piccolo that he was before.
Oh, well, fuck it then. Because Toriyama doesn't fucking keep track of shit. He's not the only fucking mangaka who's done that.
Yeah, he forgets things. He forgot an entire character who was like a fifth of the entire character base in Dragon Ball Basic with Launch.
Yeah, doesn't she get really angry if she sneezes?
Yeah, when she sneezes, she switches from quiet, calm, and nice blue-haired into a delinquent-style bank robber blonde version of herself when she sneezes, and when she sneezes again, she goes back again.
And I have no doubt both versions would be fun to fuck.
Yep. Man, just imagine bringing Pepper to foreplay. Oh.
Didn't you tell me that the Raditz fucking fan animation had Raditz end up with Launch or some shit?
Yeah, so Masako X, he's the voice of Goku, Gohan, and I assume Goten, if it went that far, in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, did a what-if scenario, and it ended up being like 15 chapters long or something. Yeah, Raditz ends up with Launch, and they have a baby kid called Ranch.
That's lazy.
Well, as in the dressing.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a lazy fucking name. It's okay, I'm not a creative, I can rip the piss out of people who are.
Yeah, and she's obviously younger than Gohan, older than Trunks and Goten, and in that world she ends up as the first female Super Saiyan, but oh well. Oh, another thing I found out is that a bunch of vegetables they come from the same root. So broccoli, kale, cauliflower, and cabbage, they're all the same vegetable, but just like selectively inbred differently, and all of those end up as Saiyan names.
Fair enough. I don't think that's the reason why Toriyama went like that, though.
For the last three, I think it is. Apart from broccoli, like the other three are from like the other Saiyan world.
Am I being insane? But is broccoli meant to be Broly?
Yeah, broccoli's Broly.
All right, cool.
and that's why Broly and kale have the same berserker thing, because they're also from the same root. But yeah, Nappa is, I think, the odd one out in that I think it's a type of way to prepare ramen rather than a vegetable, but still.
Yeah, but Toriyama basically is obsessed with food.
Yeah, he's obsessed with puns. If a character's not a pun, then what even is it? Like, even Bulma, her name is meant to be Bloomers, as in panties.
Yes, because her surname is Briefs.
Yep, Bloomer Briefs.
What's the fucking... I think the fucking grandma also has a fucking pant pun name, doesn't she?
I don't know about the grandma.
Well, sorry, not the but Bulma's mum, but I call her grandma because Trunks exists.
Yeah, I forget about what her actual thingy is.
She never opens her eyes.
No, she doesn't.
And fuck, even again, like another kid, like Bra, innit? And Trunks again. Yeah, it's all fucking pants names.
Yeah, Trunks, Bra. She's got a sister called Tights.
Shut up.
She's got a sister called Tights, and she's a blonde. She's in the Jacko manga.
Apparently, Bulma's mum's name is Bikini.
Okay, that stands to reason. And after a certain point, she looks younger than everybody who's very definitely a lot younger than her. But that's part of the gag, I guess. But yeah, Goku and Piccolo. I keep trying to say Vegeta, and it's not. They fight Raditz because Raditz has kidnapped Gohan as a way to get them to fight him, because he knows that these two are the only actual threats on this planet, and he still kind of wants Goku to go back with him and repopulate the Saiyan race.
Yes, with only men.
Yep. But he's seen that it works with other races now, so he's like, this is cool. Okay, this kid is half Saiyan. This is like half of what I wanted anyway. Let's take him back. And Gohan gives his first hint that he might be more than just a baby, in that he goes super berserk and gives Raditz a super headbutt.
Yeah, this is basically really Gohan's gimmick for a long goddamn time.
Yeah, when he gets real mad, he goes, "Don't hurt my dad," or whatever, and then just does a super headbutt and brings the big bad of that arc to their knees.
I'm going to be incredibly un-PC right now, but there's only one way of describing it, and that is do not underestimate retard power.
Yeah, this is true. But yeah, Goku ends up doing the sacrifice of, I'm going to hug this guy, you shoot us both through the chest, because that's the only way we're going to keep him still enough for this thing that takes 5 episodes to charge to actually hit.
Listen. I get why you described it the way you did, but for fuck's sake, it's a full Nelson.
Well, true. Raditz shows the weakness of the tail that Goku had in Dragon Ball, but it doesn't matter. And the first time it gets pulled, he's like, I surrender. And then as soon as they let go, he's like, bitches. And then when he gets hugged again and they pull his tail, he's like, I actually really do surrender this time. And they're like, no, dickhead.
Yeah, it's one of those where
where
Goku isn't an idiot, he's just incredibly nice.
Yeah. I mean, he is a bit of an idiot, but still.
Oh, yeah, no, he gets stupider as the series progresses, but in this case, it's like, he didn't let him go because he was stupid the first time. He let him go because he was like, okay, goodwill.
Yep.
But then it's very quickly, fool me once, shame on you.
Mm-hmm. Because his body count in Dragon Ball Basic was enormous. It's not as if he was ever a good guy. He was just pointed at villains.
Well, you could argue that really Bulma's the reasoning for that, because if it weren't for Bulma, Goku would have just stayed in the forest in his hut.
Yeah, just kept fishing and hunting dinosaurs all the time.
And occasionally he would have met a woman and gone, oh, you got a front bottom, and then slap it because he's a stupid kid.
Yeah.
I shit you not, man. That is the funniest goddamn page in the entire Dragon Ball manga. If you've not read that page, read that page. It is so fucking funny, especially from his initial assessment of, oh, girls have a bottom on the front, to, I'm going to smack it.
Yeah.
If you don't laugh at that, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, it was a fun one. Like, just generally, Dragon Ball was a fun time. It went on for a long ass time, but like, especially the early stuff is definitely worth reading.
Oh, I couldn't be asked to get very far into the manga because I went back to it ages after Dragon Ball Z finished,
Oh, ditto. Like, they started releasing the manga in the UK after Dragon Ball Z had finished. And then after they'd released all the Dragon Ball manga, they started releasing the Dragon Ball Z manga. And it was fun, but like, we'd already seen Z at that point.
I read it on the laptop.
Well, okay.
But yeah, just to give context for how far I got into Dragon Ball, I got to just after, I've forgotten the fucker's name, but the pig motorboating. No, wait, sorry. Master Roshi motorboating the pig, but the pig is disguised as Bulma.
Oh, yeah.
Which is super fucked up, because Bulma's like 13, 14 in that.
Yep. The way that they bribe him is by saying, I want to go play Puff Puff, which is, motorboating. And then the other one where Bulma goes, oh yeah, I'll show you my panties if you help us. And then she pulls her skirt up and Goku goes, I took those off earlier.
Oh, fucking hell. But yeah, ultimately, Dragon Ball, the first wish, I think, the way the world is solved is the little pig man wishes for Bulma's panties.
Yeah, because whoever was getting the wish, I think it was the Red Ribbon Army or...
It's either him or fucking Pilaf, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Emperor Pilaf, wasn't it? Yeah, he wishes for panties and then he gets Bulma's.
Oh, what a waste of a wish, but at the same time, if you're under pressure to stop the bad guys from getting it,
Yep. But yeah, after Raditz is dealt with, they get the Scouter. They realize more Saiyans are coming, and Goku's dead.
Oh, dude,
Piccolo...
man, the Team 4-star joke is why I keep saying bowling all the time. Because the Dragon Ball Z abridged Kai, which is abridged, is Vegeta just goes, "Hey Nappa, let's go to Earth, bowling." That's it.
Yeah, I'm still doing the kid. Yeah, Piccolo steals Gohan and starts training him.
To be fair, I don't think Gohan would have been able to get home on his own.
Oh, he definitely wouldn't. So Piccolo's training him is kind of a blessing in disguise, but also it does more for Piccolo than it does for Gohan, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, because Gohan's a blank slate anyway.
Yeah, and it allows Piccolo to have his, he takes levels in kindness as he trains Gohan. Not many of them, but...
I mean, you say that, he ends up doing a self-sacrifice later, so...
Oh, he definitely does, yeah. But yeah, Goku is dead, and King Yemma goes, "Oh yeah, go that way, on Snake Way," and he spends, multiple episodes on this big, long, freaking stone dragon snake thing.
I mean, it might as well be its own fucking arc.
It pretty much is. In terms of what happens and how long it takes, the training arc might as well be the training saga.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can call the Android Saga a saga rather than the Cell Saga, then yeah. He gets to King Kai eventually, and King Kai is a massive troll. His one thing is, "Oh, if you can make me laugh, then I'll train you." And Goku tells really shitty jokes, but with better timing, apparently. I think that's the way that he gets it to work.
Dude, I don't even remember that bit, so...
Oh, it was some stupid things like, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" kind of thing. The worst jokes in the world, but he punctuated it by doing punches in the direction of King Kai, which, I don't know, it doesn't really work, but King Kai has two minions. He's got Gregory, the little grasshopper dude, and he's got...
I believe
Bubbles
he's a cicada, isn't he?
Oh, he might be. He's a bug. He's a bug and he flies.
In fucking Japanese stuff, it's usually a cicada.
Yeah, it's some kind of bug. It's a Kamen Rider bug.
That's an insult to my people and my species, but I'll accept it.
Well, considering how ridiculously powerful he is compared to things that came before, yeah.
I don't think he is all that powerful. He's just really fast, isn't he? That's his deal.
Yeah, he's fast, and he can be fast on the ultimate gravity planet. Oh yeah, King Kai has a car, and his planet is tiny.
Well, I believe they use the planet being tiny as justification for the gravity being so high, which doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, if you know physics, it's the opposite. Yeah, the planet has the same amount of gravity as Earth in the story, and because it's tiny, it's all concentrated, so it's 100 times gravity or something.
Yeah, and then Goku tries to take off his weighted gear, and Kai goes, "No!"
he breaks the pavement as well, doesn't he? But yeah, he does his training. Eventually he can catch Bubbles, and then he can catch Gregory, and then he can actually train with King Kai. King Kai teaches him two things. He teaches him the Kaioken, and he teaches him the Spirit Bomb, and he tells him basically only use the Spirit Bomb if the universe is about to die, because it has the power to destroy a planet. And yet that gets ignored. It only ever works once.
It also doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, they really do present this as being big dick baller awesome. Planet Frieza destroys a planet with a finger, meaning it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, he does it twice. He does it once against Planet Vegeta, and he does it again against Namek. Although at least with Namek, he actually does, I think he uses both hands for Namek because he's pissed off, and he's less of a showman when he's actually in a fight. But yeah, the training, we've done Piccolo, we've done Goku. The other one is the Jobbers, so
I think you mean the Z Warriors.
Yeah, the Z Jobbers. So Krillin is the big one there. He's the actual one that can actually fight. Everyone else is just worse. Even Tien, who's meant to be strong.
Well, Tien was one of the end game bosses for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, if you all of these characters used to be enemies of Goku, apart from Krillin, who was merely a rival.
And Yamcha had his face turned really early on.
Yeah. Yamcha was a bandit. He tried to rob them, and then he realized, maybe I don't hate these guys. Maybe I don't want to kill them. And he was still afraid of women, so he wasn't horny for Bulma at that point.
Man, I will tell you this.
He got over that pretty quick.
Yamcha has one of the best fucking move names.
Oh, the Fist of the Wolf-Fang Gale.
I've always just called it Wolf-Fang Fist.
Yeah, the Wolf-Fang Fist, yeah.
Which it's shit and useless, but I love it.
You can recreate that in Pathfinder really easily, by the way.
You could recreate that in real fucking life, bro. It's that weak.
Yeah, he just makes little jaws with his fingers and then just hits people with it.
Which, by the way, if you do that in real life, if you punch someone with two fingers out, you're breaking your fingers.
Oh yeah, especially in the head. Like,
But yeah, I don't know what it is. I just love the name. I love the goofiness of it. I gave it to my character in Dragon Ball Xenoverse and immediately took it out because it's shit.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of the moves that the shit characters have work really well if you've got good stats. It's just that the shit characters are shit.
But again, like, you brought it up earlier, I don't know how long or how in-depth a manga could go with Yamcha being the lead, even if he does have a bit of an extra advantage with knowing what's going on. But it's one of those of... My point has just completely gone out my brain. I repeated myself because I was like, maybe it'll come back, and it didn't, so I'm going to have to stop and just take the L on that one.
Like, in story, there's like a limit of what a human can be until they remove that limit and say, oh yeah, anybody can do anything because Ultra Instinct is not a Saiyan thing.
That wasn't even going to be my point because I don't know about Ultra Instinct.
Okay. They basically use it as Super Saiyan 5.
Well, here's the thing, right, and I don't follow Dragon Ball Super, but I did follow One Plague of Gripes, who at one point said, oh yeah, Dragon Ball Super's looking really good. They're taking away all the fucking levels and stuff and doing this, and they're stripping the uniqueness of Super Saiyans. And then about 2 weeks later he went, fuck, it's just Goku getting more new things.
Yeah.
So
how many colours of the rainbow can you make Goku? But yeah, the Z Warriors, they train with... They do a little bit with Korin, and then they climb more and train with Kami and Mr. Popo. Popo sends them into the Room of Spirit and Time and gets them to go to like simulations of death worlds, which it keeps it fresh for all the 5 minutes before they do it like 3 times. This is the first time I ever met any of these characters, and this is going to be a recurring thing. I asked my cousin, who's the fat one? And the cousin went, I don't know.
You're thinking of Yajirobe.
Yajirobe.
Who will never be relevant again.
Absolutely. Like, this is the only saga where he does anything.
It blows my mind that they had him solve the big problem at the end and not Krillin using a Destructo Disc.
Yeah, in all the games they let Krillin do it with a Destructo Disc.
Because it makes sense.
Yeah, they have a character model for Krillin. He has the slicing move. Why didn't they just do that?
I don't know.
All I can remember of Yajirobe is him just sitting down eating crisps and dodging things that people are doing because he's sat down eating crisps.
Which, in a weird way, I kind of respect.
Yeah, it's. I think this is the last saga where they just actually let funny things be funny for a long time. After this,
I think until Beerus shows up, that's when they start doing goofy shit again.
Yeah, because like the heroes are now so powerful that they're going to win on Earth, and the villains can never catch up, and then they just take the foot off the gas after that point. They do some funny stuff in the Boo saga, but that's...
Hey, guess what? We're not going to talk about the Boo saga.
Yeah, the Boo saga is 2 of these episodes away.
And I tap the fuck out at Boo.
Yep. We might not even do Boo.
No, we're not doing Boo because I can't contribute. It would just be you talking for an hour. I'd be like, fuck this, I might as well just go have a fucking snack.
Yeah, just like Team 4-Star, we're skipping Boo. We're not doing Boo at all. So yeah, the Saiyans eventually arrive. The Z Warriors, Gohan and Piccolo all put up a good show. The Z Warriors drop like flies because Nappa is really powerful. He's a big, naked, bald man. And Yamcha gets Yamcha'd by one of the Cybermen, so that's even... he gets
well, someone needs to job to show that Cybermen are a problem.
Yeah.
Man, one of the things as well is, they make reference to it in Dragon Ball Z Abridged in a really late episode during the Cell Saga, where Piccolo just goes, hey, if you want to throw down, let's fucking go, to Vegeta. And Vegeta goes, do you remember what happened last time we fought? And Piccolo goes, we've never fought each other. Because Piccolo fought Nappa.
Yeah, he did.
And then he didn't even really get killed by Nappa. I mean, he did get killed by Nappa, but he didn't get killed because he was worse. And I love how Vegeta's reaction as well. Kudos to the abridged writer, or writers, I don't know how many people work on the actual writing staff, just being Vegeta just going, huh.
Yeah, the abridged series writers are better lore masters than Toriyama. Who'd have thought?
It's almost as if you should let fans fucking take over your projects.
Which is what they did for Super. Like, the guy that does the manga for Super is just a fan who's got the style down.
I thought it was Toriyama's protege.
Yeah, he's a protege, but he started out as a fan.
Oh, fair enough, man. But yeah, it's like what we said with Star Wars and shit. And yeah, pretty much like, hey, were you a fan of Star Wars as a kid? Cool, congratulations, here's your job.
Yeah.
Thanks, Filoni and Favreau.
Yeah, totally. Chaozu is the next one to go. He blows himself up to try and let Tien have a chance at life by hugging Nappa on the back, and his back is so hench that he can't even reach Chaozu, which is...
I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen those videos of those big buff bodybuilders and some dude just sticks a post-it note on their back and they can't reach it. It's so fucking funny.
Yep. Well, I think everyone has an issue scratching that one spot on their back.
Yeah, but I mean, if you stretch, you can get it.
Yeah. Tien overuses the Kyuko-ho, the tri-beam, which ends up as a... He makes a triangle with his hands, and it always ends up as a square when it impacts.
I mean, see, I've always seen it as a diamond.
Okay.
And, in which case, hey, if you tilt a diamond, what do you make?
Yeah. But he uses his HP as mana, and he dies from that rather than getting killed.
Yeah, he's a blood mage.
Yep. They keep Piccolo alive because he has the info on the Dragon Balls. They don't even know that killing him would deactivate them on Earth. But they abandon that real quick when Goku gets revived, and they go, well, we can just get more from Namek. So they just kill him at that point. Goku appears.
No, Piccolo dies when he puts himself between a key beam meant for Gohan.
Well, yeah. But they also go, oh yeah, he was a Namekian, we can go to Namek now.
I don't think they do, not until the end.
Okay.
I don't think Vegeta or Nappa ever say that. It's been a while, so I couldn't say one way or the other. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it has been a while, yeah. But yeah, Piccolo does his heroic sacrifice because he's been building up this student for quite some time, and if his student dies, then he's wasted a lot of time. But also it shows that he does actually have a heart of gold in there somewhere.
Also, Gohan is like 6.
Yeah, he can't show a 6-year-old getting killed. I think by this point Piccolo's also lost an arm, and Tien lost an arm as well before he died. And in one of the dubs, Tien says, "Oh yeah, don't worry, I can grow this arm back," which...
Yeah, okay, so they fucked it up and they meant Piccolo.
Yeah. So what they actually meant was they meant for Piccolo to say that, but apparently they made Tien say it just so it toned down the gore, but it also called into question if Tien is even human. So it's like this weird plot hole that they just put in the dub.
I don't remember that, but that's so fucking funny.
Yeah. Yeah, when Goku arrives, he fights Nappa. They do the whole over 9,000 thing, which
apparently was a mistranslation, wasn't it?
Well, it was intentional. The original one was over 8,000, but 9,000 sounds better in English, so they made it 9,000. So Goku is canonically stronger in English than he is in Japanese.
Take that, Nihon.
Yeah. And the meme clip of Vegeta going, "Over 9,000!" is from a different dub to the one that most people ended up getting in the world. I think it was the Canadian dub.
Okay.
And it was the one that we had for the long ass time, and they only got to a certain point, and then like one episode later, this was Buu Saga, all the voices changed, and I was like, what the fuck? And it turns out, yeah, there were 2 dubs the entire time, and they only had episodes up to 1 point for one of the dubs.
I don't understand why you do a separate English dub for Canadian viewers.
I think it was just because like they picked it up earlier, and they basically made it a dub for us, and then they could market it around the world, and people didn't want to pay what they were charging for licensing, so another company picked it up and did their own internal American one, which they could then just redistribute,
Headache, absolute headache.
Yeah, licensing is bullshit.
As we know with them all.
Oh yeah, totally.
How the fuck do you end up having one of your characters you owned by someone, but you don't actually know if they own them or not?
Yeah.
That's how fucked up that scenario was.
It's 90s Marvel in a nutshell. They just sold all their characters to everyone for, like, chump change. Let them do whatever they wanted with them, or not, and then weren't able to reclaim the rights, which is why Disney had to buy Fox to get the X-Men back.
Well, they got a lot more than just that from that deal, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like, the big one right now is Sony with Spider-Man, because I don't think Sony's ever going to give that up, because Spider-Man's the only thing that makes that studio money.
Yeah, Spider-Man very much is the goose that lays the golden eggs for Sony. But even then, like, there's a theme park in Florida, the Universal Studios, the big rival to Disneyland. They've got a Marvel Village.
Weird.
Because they built it in the late 90s. And you've got the Incredible Hulk roller coaster. You've got Storm's teacups.
That's cute, I guess.
It is. Like, you sit in the little teacup and you spin round, and it's the same as the teacups in Disneyland, where you just sit in it and you can control how fast your teacup is spinning.
That's how teacups work everywhere, Rick.
Yeah. But yeah, Storm's teacups. You've got Doctor Doom's go up and come down. You've got the X-Men come out on quad bikes now and again, just for photo ops.
I was going to say, what?
Yeah. The actor X-Men come out on quad bikes because that's the only way they can get around the park quick enough without getting harassed. They come out for photos and all that. The music blares. You can get a selfie with Wolverine, and then they fuck off.
Please tell me it's the 90s cartoon intro music.
I don't even think they've got the license for that, but it's the 90s cartoon designs.
What's the point in having music blaring that's not...
And then they've got the Spider-Man 4D one where you sit in a car. The car is on hydraulics, and you go through this recreation of New York with 3D glasses on, and 3D representations of characters come and attack you. And because it's a shit Sinister Six, they do more damage to each other than to you.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like Electro shoots the water guy.
Hydro Man.
Yeah, Hydro Man, and he bursts into water, and everyone in the car gets splashed.
I'll be honest with you, Rick. With a franchise where the main character is called Spider-Man, the villain names aren't much better.
Nope.
I love Spider-Man, but fuck.
Yeah.
Do you want to fight the Dot?
The Dot? Then I think She-Venom's in there as well, but she doesn't do anything.
Oh, She-Venom does weird things to my brain.
Yeah. Or it could be She-Carnage.
That would be too scary even for me. You know the term "don't stick your dick in crazy"?
Yeah, it goes double for Carnage.
Oh.
Especially when someone's name is Carnage.
Also, if you're not into women, don't let crazy stick its dick in you either. That's a good motto too.
Yeah. But yeah, the fight with Nappa goes pretty well for Goku. Nappa eventually gets his spine snapped.
I don't remember that.
And when he's begging for help from Vegeta, the way Vegeta helps is by chucking him into the air and killing him.
Yeah, bye, Nappa.
Partly because, Vegeta knows about the Zenkai boost, and if he does heal, then he's going to come back stronger. Partly because it's just to show how evil he is.
Yeah.
And then it's time for the little pipsqueak Vegeta to fight Goku. And this is where you get some of the most iconic shots from all of Dragon Ball.
I will just say very quickly, it's the most damning act a villain can do, is just kill their own dudes. It's like, cool, so you just don't give a fuck then, eh?
Yep. Like, especially when it's like a human shield or whatever. Although Shepard does that as well if you're a renegade.
Yeah, but guess what? Renegade Shep's a dick.
Yeah. Shoot through the soft tissue. Yeah, you'll heal.
Well, that's different. That had a purpose. That served its purpose. That actually killing someone who is on your side just because, fuck it, I don't want you to be stronger than me. It's like, okay, but what?
Yeah. Plus, it's like with the Zenkai boost, apparently self-harm can be something that's weaponized. So all you have to be is an emo Saiyan, and you're the strongest one in the universe.
I think it's implied that it's not that easy to off you as a Saiyan.
Yeah, because
you took that to a dark place, Rick. Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm never okay. But yeah, you get some of the iconic shots, like standing on the rock, and one standing on the rock, you see Goku from behind and Vegeta in the distance. This is the first time we get a real beam battle between the Kamehameha and the Gallic Gun, and I think it's the only time the Gallic Gun is named. If the Gallic Gun goes through, then it hits the world, and that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, I don't know if this is actually canon in the cartoon, but in every single fighting game and Dragon Ball Z game, it's always the Kamehameha is stronger, but the Gallic Gun takes less time to fire off.
Yeah, I think that's the idea, yeah. So the Gallic Gun gets closer to Goku before the Kamehameha goes off, and then he fights it off, and that's when Vegeta really flips his shit, because Goku ends up boosting it up with the Kaioken.
Kaio what?
Vegeta uses most of his power to generate a power ball, which lets him turn into an Uzaru, because the moon is gone, because Piccolo went, not having that shit happen again when he was training Gohan.
I do appreciate Team 4 Star's joke of, oh man, this kills millions on the planet.
Yeah, the tides go. And yeah, the Uzaru Vegeta, unlike Goku and Gohan as Uzarus, has his faculties about him still.
Yeah, I assume that's got to do with training.
It's implied that Nappa would as well, because like Saiyan nobles, either because they train or because there's something inherently better about having more than 12 int, can keep control of their ape forms.
Well, yeah, because I get what you're saying, and I'm using Dragon Ball Xenoverse knowledge here, so correct me if I'm wrong, but like Broly, Bardock, and Raditz all have their faculties as well when they're giant gorillas.
I've not seen Raditz as a gorilla.
I'm pretty sure there is a scenario in Xenoverse 2 where Raditz becomes a gorilla. I might be getting confused with someone else.
Yeah, there's definitely a Xenoverse Nappa as a gorilla.
Yeah, and he's just following Vegeta like a bitch.
Yep. And yeah, Vegeta starts to win. He kicks the shit out of Goku, who's trying to do a spirit bomb, and Goku passes the remaining spirit bomb that he has to Krillin. I don't know if this happened in the anime, but it definitely happened in the manga, and it ends up being really tiny and basically not worth using. Still doesn't work because it's a spirit bomb, and if it worked, then that would be the end of the series. And they finally put Vegeta down with a combination of Gohan also going ape, because taking his tail off was too much of an issue, so they destroyed the moon, but now he can get the moon power from the ball. Krillin fucking around with a shitty spirit bomb, and Yajirobe cutting off Vegeta's tail, and Vegeta's like, shit, I'm dying, I'm gonna go to my pod, and Goku stops Yajirobe from stabbing him. Actually, no, it's Krillin, isn't it? Krillin gets Yajirobe's sword, and he wants to stab Vegeta for everything he's done, and Goku's like, nah, it was a good fight, I want another, let him go.
Yeah, I don't think Goku gets enough shit for that attitude.
No.
Because this is not the last time he does that.
No, like, he tries to do it to Frieza.
He does do it to Frieza. He gives Frieza energy so he can keep fighting.
Yeah, or at least so he can live and get away and come back to fight another day, but Frieza's like, nah, I'm gonna throw it literally back in your face. Oh man, Goku. The worst thing is, like, other heroes do that now as well. It's a pain in the dick. I suppose you can kind of blame Batman for it as well to a degree, because he never kills people who are very definitely going to kill again.
The one with Batman's big one is the Joker, and it's like there is literally never an excuse to not kill the goddamn Joker.
Yeah.
Other people, I can get it. Like Cobblepot, he's a gangster, he's a piece of shit, but he doesn't just kill people for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Catwoman, she's a burglar, you don't want to kill that. Two-Face is mentally ill.
Yeah. And the side of him that's not the Two-Face is, like, actually his friend.
Usually,
yeah. Unless they're romantic rivals. But yeah, usually friend. Or at least definitely on the same side and on the side of law. Just, he's got the chaos side. But yeah, and that's pretty much where it ends. They have the idea that, okay, they're going to Namek, let's find Namek, and that's the beginning of the next saga. So I think that's pretty much it for the Saiyan saga, isn't it?
Very quickly, because it's technically the beginning of the Namek saga, but it's boring, so let's get it over and done with. We end how pretty much every Dragon Ball Z series fucking ends, and that is Goku's in the hospital, and he's not going to get out for a while, which is why he's not involved in a Namek saga straight away.
Yeah, they put him in a better ship that gets there quicker than the regular ship.
Oh, it's so dumb!
Yeah. I'll have a better ship ready in about a month. It's going to take 2 months less to get to anywhere you want to go. Do you want to go now instead? Yes. I think the actual reason they did that was because they were writing the manga at the same time they were making the anime. The more time they could, like, kind of bullshit having filler, the better.
Oh, so, shit, yeah. I forgot, because we got the fake planet Namek and all that other shit.
Yeah, fake Namek. The number of times they fake out Super Saiyan as well is a pain in the arse, because Vegeta knows what a Super Saiyan is. Even Popo, I think, knows what a Super Saiyan is. Like, King Kai talks about it. You get a shot of what they think a Super Saiyan is, because nobody knew, and it was just an Ozaru. So yeah, it's not until a lot later that we find out what they're actually meant to look like. And then a week later, Sonic 2 launched, and he had a Super Saiyan form as well, so that was fun. But yeah, I think that's about it for the Saiyan saga. So, if it's okay with you, I'd like to get into the final three. So, from the Saiyan saga, do you have a favourite moment?
I'm trying to think. No.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It's been a fucking long time. I don't know. It's really annoying. Bear with me. I don't know, man. It's cool seeing Bulma as an adult.
Yeah. Well, she's been an adult for quite some time, but...
Okay, but it's the first time you see her as an adult. Well, fucking give me some slack. You know what I meant.
Yeah. Like, not being... Because when she was younger, she was very horny.
Was she?
Yeah, like, she wanted to get the Dragon Balls to get a boyfriend.
That's not being horny. That's being a teenager.
Well, true.
So I think a lot of people want a partner, but they don't necessarily want to just fuck all the time.
Yeah. Well, she also tried to seduce the gay general from the Red Ribbon Army.
And I probably didn't get that far, did I?
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, your favourite moment is seeing Bulma all grown up and and relevant again.
Yes, and sparking a lifelong love of MILFs in the form of Bulma and Chi-Chi. More so Chi-Chi in the early days, but I don't think you see her very often in the first series of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, you see her better in Dragon Ball, and she, like, makes more of an impact.
Well, no,
like,
I don't know. In Dragon Ball, she's 2.
Well, not only that, like, she shows up early on when Goku's also a kid, and she's a better fighter when she's that. And then she shows up later in a
But
tournament.
I'm talking about fuckability, Rick.
Yeah, when she shows up later in a tournament, she's grown up, because so's Goku.
But I'm talking about MILF Chi-Chi.
Okay.
Fucking twisting my words and making things feel weird. Ugh. What's your fucking favourite moment?
It's probably got to be the beam battle. Like, it's the first of quite a few, but it's like the most iconic because it's the beam battle.
I think I'm a little bit less thrilled by such things because it's been done a dozen times since.
True enough. Like, I think a lot of things the first time is often the most impactful, so that's generally the one that you remember, and then if there's another one later on, like between Gohan and Cell, then that was also a pretty good one, but, like, this is the first, so it's the one that sticks in my mind the most, you know?
Yeah, I get you, man.
But we can't always talk about the best stuff. Sometimes we have to talk about the stuff that's a little bit more shitty, so what was your weakest link?
Everyone who's not a Saiyan or a Namek can get fucked. Like,
And,
that's going to be a theme going on all the way until the end of the series. In fact, might even still be a problem in Super, where if you're not a Super Saiyan and your name's not Piccolo, you might as well not fucking exist.
Yeah. Well, at least they've got, like, the gods of destruction and all that, but they never fucking do anything, because if they did, then planets would go bye-bye.
Yeah, I know Frieza becomes a pseudo good guy in Super, but
Yeah. Frieza becomes the new Vegeta.
But Vegeta's still there.
Yeah. Old Vegeta is there, but old Vegeta becomes new Vegeta, which is just basically the new Krillin.
No. What about you? What's your weakest link?
It's along the same lines that jobbers that basically are only there because they were there in Dragon Ball, but nobody watched Dragon Ball. So, like, there is no point to Yajirobe, there is no point to Tien and Chaozu, there's basically no point to Krillin. They could have just cut to it just being Piccolo and Gohan and had done with it.
But then they couldn't have had 100 episodes of filler.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, yeah, I'll actually give it to the filler. I'll give it to the filler because...
Was Dragon Ball Z the first instance of cartoons just putting shit in their show just because they needed to fill time?
Probably not, but it's definitely the most well-known in the West. And again, it's because they made it a weekly show rather than a seasonal show. If they had done it in seasons, like they did with Kai when they were remastering it, then you really can just cut down on the shit. But, you know, apparently an entire episode of chasing bubbles around the planet was what was called for.
And let's not mince words here, Rick. As a child, I still loved it.
Oh, it was fun, but, like, how many more times do you need to see Nappa and Vegeta stopping off on a planet along the way, to show how evil they are? Like, okay, let's kill this entire race of people and eat their corpses.
But better yet, let's also do it with Vegeta being the wrong colour scheme.
Oh yeah, he was like this. He got this brown hair that was all like super wavy.
Yeah, not to mention his green and orange armour.
Yeah, and he was even shorter back then.
Either that or they made Nappa super hench.
I think it was a combination of both. Like, they made Nappa like 11 feet tall, and Vegeta was like 4 feet tall. It was stupid. But yeah, I think it's time for the final one. Do you have an MVP?
I mean, it's got to be Piccolo. He kick-started the whole, cool, we're now doing the hero's journey for Gohan, we're getting him ready to take over for Goku. Doesn't fucking pay off in the end, but we didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, Piccolo, despite killing millions of people by destroying the moon. What about you? Who's your MVP?
I think you got to give it to Goku, because this is the one where he actually does the most, I believe. Like,
no, he doesn't. He does what he does in the other two series. He fucks off and trains for the entire arc, comes in and fucking solves the problem in 10 minutes.
Well, yeah.
That's the formula for Dragon Ball Z. Don't even pretend.
Oh, totally. Like, he did it in Dragon Ball as well. Like, it was always, train to unlock some other new bullshit thing, and then they all got retconned into being, these were all actually Zenkai boosts. That Mystic Water did nothing. The training with whatever did nothing. Oh, it was all because you were near death and you came back stronger.
Which, I'll be honest with you, is kind of cool in its own way. Very fucking arse-pully, but...
Yeah. So yeah, I'm still giving it to Goku because he's the main character and he facilitates nearly everything that happens. He facilitates the tension by not being there, and then he comes in and solves it. But not really. He gives a few other characters a chance to shine by actually saving the day while after he's done all the work and he's dying. The other ones actually, save it.
But I've also got to say, I don't know how you can give him the MVP award when he lets the main villain just walk away.
Yeah, but that also lets the story continue.
The story would have continued. It just wouldn't have had Vegeta in it.
Yeah, true.
Which I'm sure there are some people listening to this going, you can't get rid of Vegeta. He's the only thing. He's who I based my personality on for 20 years. Everyone knows that cunt.
Yeah, the Shadow the Hedgehog wannabe.
Oh, fuck.
Man, the number of people who tried to emulate Vegeta and just end up emulating Shadow the Hedgehog instead.
I mean, I didn't try to do that, but I did have red highlights in secondary school.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it wasn't any edgelordy thing. It was just like, my hair looks shit, let's try and improve that. Let's put highlights in. Did not fix it.
Yeah, still looks shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's just now it's got a bit of red in it. Oh boy, I look like a twat.
We're finished now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. I see, I could have helped you, but I wanted to hear you flounder just a little bit.
Yeah. Here's the point. Yeah. We've done the final three, so it's time to get into the real cool down. So, if you liked the episode, you've got the comment section down below on YouTube, and if you're listening via one of the many audio platforms, we have the email address. And where would you send an email to?
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
And, yep, if you made it this far, as always, you are our favourite people. So, it's going to be a goodbye from me.
And it's going to be a goodbye from him. We'll see you on Namek.
Bye!